where do you want to put your attention? Do you have time? Right now, I think people have more time to do anything they want than they used to have. But people are still going to have to work soon. So we got a lot of things going on. For me, I'm trying to finish up one book. I try to film UFOs in the sky and everything. But it's been so cloudy here every single night.
Hey, Tommy, we got a call in from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh caller 412. Did you want to add to our radio show today with Ronny Dawson and Tommy Hawk?
No, I was just sitting here listening.
Aw. Well, thank you. What's your name? Do you regularly listen to Blog Talk, or you just happen to want to know what we were about?
I'm actually from Michigan. I don't normally use my real name, my real phone number. I mean, my name is Drew, though.
Gerudo?
Drew.
Oh, Drew.
DREW.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, do you keep up with stories, or what made you want to listen tonight? Because Tommy and I are just celebrating our 8-year anniversary, and we were listening to Ronny Dawson earlier in Texas. So you're Drew from Michigan. Have you had any experiences you can add to this recording that you want to share with me and Tommy?
Well, we actually seen UFO out there in Springport. It was the first time that we actually seen something like that. But we seen crazy things that happened that day. We actually called the news, and they said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And I'm like, "What? What are you guys talking about?" Because it's normal that you see ships like that up in the sky. And then we seen like a white.
I'm going to mute Drew and let Tommy do the rest of the show. Okay, Tommy, it's on you to help keep the show rolling with Drew here. If somebody else calls in and wants to tell their story, folks, we'll give you 5 minutes or so to help record here. You ain't going to believe this. This is the Folklife Society, and we do Alien Contact Organization, UFO Association, and you can help us in our ACO club, and Tommy is the membership chairman. But you can call in on Saturdays, and we'll give you, 5 to 15 minutes. But
all right, so continue with what was going on. When you saw this, you called the press up?
I'm still here.
Yeah, Drew.
Oh, okay.
Drew, this is Tommy Hawk's blood. Tommy's in the Big Island of Hawaii. Drew's in Michigan, folks. But Drew, we appreciate you calling in, and everybody else out there listening to us. So. We want to grow our group, so we'll be here Saturdays. Yeah. And Tommy, if you'll show up, Ronny can't do every because sometimes he works on Saturdays. But I told people 3, but it's too hard now that I'm having to stay up at night and help around the world keep the computers running and training people on the domains and with podcasting. But my company is American Communications Online, and Tommy helps me with my different clubs. Helping us grow them with people, and so he's on the Big Island. So Drew's in Michigan. So Tommy, get to know Drew, and he's heard some stories. He wants to know what we're talking about every week. But Tommy, just tell him all the topics, and I'm going to mute.
All right. We have multiple topics. I mean, basic ones: UFOs, aliens, abduction, dealing with abduction. I mean, there's experiences. I mean, do you consider yourself an experiencer, or you just saw a UFO?
I didn't believe in UFOs until that moment. That was actually my first experience, but there was a whole bunch of people standing outside when it actually happened. We actually
had people with
got
you
the picture. You can actually see it was like a little silver dot, and we seen a whole bunch of them. And that's when I called the news, and I was like, ain't nobody doing anything about this?
Well, how far?
The police came out and checked it out.
Do you have an idea how far away they were? Do you have anything to compare it to?
They were up by the clouds. They were pretty far away.
But they were underneath the clouds.
But
you could see them, right?
It seemed like they were hiding behind the clouds. And that's what we noticed.
Okay.
Like they didn't want to be seen.
Right. They do that a lot. Yeah. I mean, they basically, if they want you to see them, they let you. If they don't, you usually don't. I mean, every time, I see a lot of ships here in Hawaii, and every time I point my camera, the second I get on it, it disappears. And whether they're using psychic energy or whatever to read and understand and see what's happening, they always know. And, I mean, sometimes they'll let you see them and film them. I was just showing a video of an alien coming up to a door, right up to the door of the house. And when the person walked towards the door, the alien ran away, but then there was two other ones. So it's becoming so open now. Not that the government's going to come out and say how open it is, because they don't want to do that. That's going to be the last thing they want to do. And I say disclosure is a big word now in the UFO world. I say that'll only happen when the aliens want it to happen. Now, how long ago was
about the story?
Yeah, when did this happen?
This was about, I want to say about 6 years ago. Because I haven't been in them apartments in a minute. The funny part about this story, though, after we seen them, and I got the pictures and everything, like, you can see the bottom of it's very blurry. You couldn't really see the ship. But after we seen them, we seen a white, like, it was like an airplane, but like a space shuttle with like a what was it? Like not antenna, but it looked like it had a satellite dish on top. Right? Right in between there was them that was white, and then there was an alien ship that was following right behind it. Then there was another one of them space shuttles that followed right behind that. So I'm like, where'd these come from? Like, we didn't notice it because we thought it was like a helicopter. But when it got near us, we noticed what they were.
Right. So how long did this last? About 10 minutes or more, longer?
I want to say about 15 seconds. Like. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
I want to say about 15 seconds. You know what I mean?
Because really? Okay.
They didn't, because that spaceship in the middle was moving quick. So it looked like they were trying to keep it in line with each other. Like the one was moving pretty quick, the alien ship was moving pretty quick, and the one behind was moving pretty quick. So it wasn't, if you would have looked and you would have looked away, you would have missed it.
You know what I mean? Okay. But see, it impressed you. I mean, that was years ago, and it impressed you, and it's still on your mind. So I'm sure it was real to you, no matter what people say. As far as friends, was your family or friends with you, or was it just other people?
It was neighbors. Like everybody was like, "What the heck?" And it was because one biker guy that looked up in the sky, and he's normally looking up in the sky, and we just thought that guy was crazy. Like, why you keep on looking up in the sky?
Right.
And we would laugh, and he would laugh at us. But that day, when he said, "Look up in the sky," I'm the only one that didn't see it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, boom, you can actually see them going back. You could see a little tiny speck of silver going to the other cloud. Like they were just chasing each other back.
Right.
But then that moment happened, I'm like, what? And I called the news immediately. The cops came out. They sat there and watched it. The news, it just kind of blew it off. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, these people didn't want nothing to do with it.
After all this, now, do you desire to see UFOs now, or are you? Is it part of your attention, like to see them again, or just remember that and forget it?
I remember it. After that, it's never happened again. Like I have never seen anything like we've seen that today.
Well, the reason why I got a manual, I call it a field manual on how to see a UFO. It gives you all the pointers that will make you be able to see it in a short period of time. I don't know if your desire is to see another ship or not. Some people want to see them, want to get close to them. It's a short manual. I mean, it's like 200 pages, but I decided I wanted to just give it away. But if you're interested, I can send it to you if you just email me, hawksblood1@AOL.com. But I have been doing it for many years, so I learned the tricks of the trade, how to see them, what time's the best time. I mean, you always hear 3 o'clock, the pinpoint time of demons, ghosts, spirits, UFOs. I have more luck at, say, anywhere between an hour and a half hour before sunrise. To me, it's a good time. Everybody's still quiet because a lot of people stay up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when they're partying. But at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock's probably more people are asleep during that time frame than any other time. Because by 5:30, they have to get up and get ready to go to work. So what I see when I go out there, I see a lot of ships in an hour or even a half hour. But there's a lot of things you can do about with your cameras and where you go. You need space. You don't need a lot of light. That's where it'll actually hurt it. The sun doesn't help at all. It's really hard to see much stuff in the sky with the sun. I'm working on a pair of day vision glasses. Now, you heard of night vision glasses? It makes you see at night. You can see everything. Well, I'm making a pair of day vision glasses, which makes you see everything during the day. Basically, what it does, it blocks out all the blue light and it blocks out all the red light, and that gives you the only essence of reality, which is like it's what it actually is. So I didn't get my glasses. I got the film and everything to make them. A friend of mine made them and said they're really cool because the sun has to be out and bright because you still have to be able to see. But you see things that you can't see with the eye because these light colors block everything you see out. So, I mean, I'm always trying to stay ahead one step of devices and tools, but I don't have the money to go out and buy like a $3,500 night vision glasses, which are incredible if you ever get a chance to use them. But just going out early in the morning, you have to be willing to stare at the sky for an hour, at least a half hour. And then when you stare at the sky, kind of keep an open eye. Don't like stare at the star and the star here. Just look at the whole sky because it's a lot easier to see things moving. Because if you're focusing on one dot, you got a whole sky above you, and you can't see the other things going on. And just because you're there, it sounds like they're all going to come in front of you to say hi. So you got to get into their space, where they are and how they move. But to me, it was fun. I did it for many years. It's more of a pastime now because I'm more concerned with putting out my teachings in my book, my last book, because I feel right now what's happening with aliens, it's going to explode. Within I keep saying a year or two, but it'll probably be this coming year will be the biggest point for it to kind of really explode wide open. I know Trump's into it to the max. I bet he knows about aliens as well. And I'm sure he can't talk about that because he's afraid he'll lose all his votes if he does, at least at this point in time. Because he also said he wants to be president when we go to Mars. So, yeah, he has his door open to UFO stuff. But in the UFO world, I know by people that I know high up, they just don't brag or talk about it. And they don't tell people. And I mean, just like if you saw the movie, the president only gets the right to know when he has the right to know, which is major time, not just, oh, well, let's just tell him about this stuff. No, he won't get told about it unless something serious is going to happen. And then they'll come out with a lot of information and feed it to him. But, I mean, he's been in presidency for almost, he's going on his last year. But he should know all that stuff. I mean, Putin himself came out right before President Trump got elected, and he said he wanted Trump to tell the truth about aliens and 9/11 as well. But we need to focus. The first thing is focus on what you want to know. And then the second thing is go online, and this is what I tell everybody if they're really interested, check out what information is really there. and then you got to sift through